Organizational cultural alignment, in simple words, is an organization defining its principles and core values towards which the entire organization is headed. It has several components. Like, first of all, the organization needs to define its enterprise purpose. What is the ultimate goals or principles that the organization is headed towards? Then defining a business strategy that helps in achieving these targets or reaching to these goals. Now, business strategy needs to be supported by having the right capabilities within the organization, building capabilities and competencies, etc., and which indirectly requires having the right resource architecture, defining the right hierarchies, how the organization is structured, etc. And all of this feeds a seamless binding through a proper management system. So overall, organizational culture goes through all of these stages, and that's how an organization can achieve a culture which is headed towards the goals of an organization. It is required because it helps the entire organization, the entire workforce, to align their personal day-to-day activities, their personal targets with the organizational targets. So in the larger picture, everybody is headed in the right direction and in the direction in which the organization is looking forward to. So it helps in higher productivity. It helps in having better outcomes of the day-to-day work of employees, a higher satisfaction, and in fact it can lead to reduction in turnovers as well. Any organization should have a cultural development, people development at the very beginning when the organization is being formed. It's a very basic pillar which is required. I don't think so that it's an optional thing, or it can be added at a later stage. I don't think so that's a right strategy, although many people do it, because especially in case of like startups, initially they don't have enough resources, or their focus is primarily is building on client relationship and delivering the right quality, etc. So often they tend to ignore or deprioritize having focus on culture development. But I think it's not how it should be, because sooner or later every organization would realize that people development and culture development will only help them achieve their targets better. So not having one, in fact, will show up in a lot of red signals, I would say. Like the organizations or leadership would start to hear complaints from the workforce. They might feel that the people are not able to manage their day-to-day activity. They are not able to prioritize their work. So in short, it creates a lot of dissatisfaction amongst the workforce, which in turn leads to impacts the productivity, increases attrition, etc. So at the very beginning, if all of this is taken care of, the organization is headed for a much smooth operation in the long term. We at Kognitivus, we are a cultural alignment organization. We focus on helping organizations build more, productive and better culture. So we have several stories. Like every work we do is a story in itself. But if you ask me, I recall one recent, a program where we helped one research and analytics firm. They are based in Pune, and they were struggling with a very high rate of attrition. So it's a huge problem in today's world. Not being able to maintain your talent or retain your pool is a huge loss, and the companies are realizing it. So they reached out to Kognitivus and asked for some solution. So Kognitivus takes a holistic approach, and we decided to dig deeper into their existing culture and see that what might be the underlying factors that are causing this mass attrition. And we do this by a number of methods, like we do surveys, we do interviews, we talk to the leadership team and people at all the levels, so that we get to know from the story from every angle. And once we had all these inputs from all these places, we try to bring out the insights and see what are the patterns emerging from this. And using those patterns, we developed a program for this organization that would help them in achieving this or resolving this problem. So we identified that there were some people skills that were required to be trained even more to the middle management and top management, so that overall the organization becomes more people centric. And for that we did a series of sessions and workshops for management, and we also integrated these competencies, these people-centric competencies into their performance management system. So it became a part of their regular process, and even the employees and the management was aligned towards this competencies then. So overall, once we established this system, the organization was able to see great results, and within a year the attrition was reduced by 40%, which was really great, and they were really delighted, and so were we. So it's always a pleasure to hear out success stories from client. So yeah, this is one recent success story.